Beef and mushrooms go so well together, and this Chinese stir-fry combines both these wonderful rich flavors and textures. Here I have some mini dry shiitake mushrooms. I'm covering with warm water and letting them soak for a good 30 to 45 minutes. Like the large dried shiitake mushrooms, I cut off the stems after soaking as they tend to be tough. For the beef, I have a pound of thinly sliced top sirloin or London broil cut. Whenever you're cutting, just make sure you cut across the grain. I'm adding in 1/8 of a teaspoon of white pepper, 2 teaspoons of light soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of Chinese cooking wine, and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, giving that a good mix, setting to the side and letting that marinate for 30 minutes. And now the sauce. I have a 1/4 cup of water, and I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 2 teaspoons of dark mushroom soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of Chinese cooking wine, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and both the cooking wine and sugar will help balance out all that saltiness from the oyster sauce and soy sauce. And finally, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch for a thickener, giving that a good mix and setting to the side. Now that I have everything prepped, we are ready to cook, and this will be ready in 10 minutes. In my wok on high heat, I'm adding in enough oil to coat the sides and bottom. You can also use any skillet, just make sure your pan is nice and hot before adding the oil. I'm adding in the marinated beef and spreading out. I'm letting this cook for a good 15 to 20 seconds before stirring so it gets a nice crust. Cooking and stirring the beef for 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'm removing from the pan. It doesn't take long, and be careful not to overcook or the beef will be tough. On medium-high heat, I'm adding a little more oil and the minced garlic. Cooking and stirring for 20 to 30 seconds, and then I'm adding in some diced onions. Cooking and stirring for 1 minute, and then I'm adding in the mini shiitake mushrooms. Cooking and stirring for another minute, and then I'm adding in 16 ounces of sliced bella mushrooms, or you can use button mushrooms. Cooking and stirring for 2 to 3 minutes, or until the mushrooms release their moisture and become tender. I'm adding my beef back into the wok and giving it a toss to combine. And now I'm pouring in my sauce. Make sure you stir the sauce before pouring, as the cornstarch tends to stick to the bottom. Cooking and stirring for a minute until everything is coated and the sauce thickens. Right before the stir fry is done, I'm tossing in a handful of green garden onions. Stirring to combine, and it's ready to eat. Look at all that rich beefy mushroom goodness. It smells amazing. The shiitake mushrooms really shine in this stir fry. The beef is nice and tender, and the sauce brings it all together and is so rich and good. This Chinese beef and mushroom stir fry is one of those dinners that you keep eating until it's all gone. Enjoy! If you like beef and spicy, you are going to enjoy this Chinese stir fry. I'm making sure I have everything prepped and ready before cooking. I have about 1.5 pounds of top sirloin or London broil cut that I thinly sliced across the grain. I'm adding in a sprinkle of white pepper, a large egg white, and about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. You may need to add more cornstarch depending on the amount of meat that you have. You want to mix thoroughly, making sure all the beef pieces are coated and the cornstarch absorbed, letting that rest and marinate for about 30 minutes. I am using the velveting technique to cook the beef. The results are a soft and tender piece of beef with a velvety smooth texture. I'm cooking the beef in 2 batches as not to overcrowd the pan. I have a pot of low simmering water and I'm adding in my pieces of beef. The beef will sink to the bottom. Once the pieces are in, give it a gentle zhuzh to make sure nothing sticks to the bottom. As the beef cooks, it will float to the top. This will only take 1 to 3 minutes, and be careful not to overcook the beef. If need be, give it a taste test along the way. Once done, remove the beef and set it to the side. Next is the sauce. The sauce does contain several ingredients, but it is well worth it. It has a great balance of salty, sweet, and heat. We like lots of sauce, so I'm starting with a half a cup of water, and I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of Shaoxing cooking wine, or you can use rice vinegar. 1 teaspoon of dark mushroom flavor soy sauce, and this is going to add a rich flavor and color. 4 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, 3 tablespoons of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and this is 4 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce that's going to add the heat. And finally, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch for thickener, giving that a good mix. I have all my vegetables and other ingredients prepped and ready, and we are ready to cook. You can use a wok or pan, and on medium heat I'm adding in about 3 tablespoons of oil and a tablespoon of minced garlic and ginger. Cooking and stirring for about 30 seconds, and then I'm adding in my vegetables. Tonight I'm using some diced onions, carrots, celery, bell peppers, and mushrooms. This is a great time to clean out the refrigerator. Broccoli is also really good in this recipe. Cooking and stirring for 5 to 8 minutes or until the veggies are tender. Just a reminder that I will leave the recipe and the list of ingredients for this Chinese spicy beef stir fry below this video. Also remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video recipe, and click the bell to make sure you receive notification of all my future video recipes. I'm turning my heat up to a medium-high and pouring over the sauce. Make sure you give the sauce a good stir before pouring. Cooking and stirring to combine, and you will see the sauce start to thicken. I'm bringing this up to a simmer and cooking for another minute. Next, I'm adding in the cooked beef and giving everything a good stir to get coated with that delicious sauce we just made. This smells so good. The beef is so tender and has a soft texture. All the veggies add texture and flavor. You can taste the garlic, the ginger, the hoisin sauce, and the chili sauce adds a nice sweet tang of heat. I hope you give this Chinese spicy beef stir fry a try and enjoy. If you like this video recipe, please hit the like and subscribe button. Remember to hit the bell next to the subscribe to make sure that you get my future video recipes. You can also find me on Facebook and at my website. Feel free to share this recipe and my channel with your friends and family. And until next time, much love!